what you have in the first email that I sent you, amongst other things, is this. All right. Hopefully you see this. This is the MMA. It's called create_database.sql. Can you both see that on your screen?
Yes.
Okay. Then what I'd like you to do, like I said, that should be in the first email I sent you this morning. Find that file and bring it up in your editor of choice. Of course, not Word, but I've got mine in Notepad++. All right. And then once you have that, highlight the first, I think it's 111. Nope. The first 108 lines. So I'll give you a second to do that. Bring up the file, create_database.sql. So bring up that file. And then highlight the first 108 lines rather. Don't copy, don't do anything. Just highlight them and leave them there for a second if you would. In fact, if you want to, you can copy it to the clipboard. So I'm just going to right mouse click and choose copy. All right. Were you able to do that? Open those both okay and get that done?
Yeah.
Angie, you too?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm going to change my share here. I want us to go back and I want you to open up, if you would, open up Visual Studio. And I want you to open up that. I sent you two, I think it's in the second email, a thing called product maintenance. There should be a folder called product maintenance, and there should be a folder called customer maintenance. I want you, if you would please, to double click on the folder that is named product maintenance. I'm going to do the same thing. Again, I realize you can't see me doing this, but double click on the one that says product maintenance. And when you double click on it, one of the things that should be in there, there's either two folders. I think you don't get the VS folder, Keegan, which is fine. But there should be a file there that says product maintenance.sln. Can you both see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, double click on that. That should start up Visual Studio, and it should bring up that program in Visual Studio. Don't run it or anything else. We don't have a database hooked up to it yet. We're going to do that next. All right, and I'm going to see if I can bring that up on my screen here. All right, hopefully you can see now my product maintenance up on the screen. All right, then, because you probably don't have that open over here, click on View and choose either a Server Explorer or SQL Server Explorer. So either this one or this one. I chose SQL Server Object Explorer right there. All right. Can you see this on my screen, this white area that's in here that I'm making the mouse dance around in?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have something in yours that looks like mine here, or do you have just one of these, or do you have just a folder? I want to hear from both of you what you have there.
I have two things: MS SQL, local DB, and projects V13.
Okay. Do you have the same thing?
Yeah.
Egan?
Yeah.
Okay. Then not the projects one, but the other one that's there, whatever you have. Okay, I'm going to grab this one. I want you to open it up by clicking that and tell me if you get a folder there that says databases.
Yes.
All right. Then what I want you to do, let's see, I'm trying to figure out the best way for us to do this, because I want it to work. I mean, with what we're trying right now, if for some reason with what we're trying, if it doesn't work, we're done for the day. All right. But that'll also mean that we'll be kind of hosed tomorrow. What I want you to do is to right mouse click where it says databases. Do you have an add new database there?
Yes.
Choose that, and it should look something like this. Put in there MMA books. Just hopefully you can read that on mine. Capital M, capital M, capital A, capital B, lowercase OOKS. Your path will be different than mine. Don't worry about that. So just put that in and click OK. And that should go and create a new database on your screen called MMA books. Yours might not look like this. I've got a boatload of databases. I should clean this up, but this is stuff I've done over the years. But when you did that, do you now find a thing over here that looks like this that says MMA books?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right mouse click on that and choose new query. All right. Now, I'm going to have you, if you would please, and I'm going to have to change my share. Sorry about that. But I'm going to have you go back in your to go back to this file right here, if you would. This was that create underscore database.sql. Right now, you probably have, like I told you to do, foolishly, those first 108 lines or whatever it was. Forget these lines right here. We've already got the database. And I don't want to take a chance on dropping it and creating it. I want you to go down to line 8 where it says go right there. And I want you to highlight from line 8 through line 108. Highlight from line 8 through line 108. Copy that to the clipboard. And let me try it first, because if it's going to break, let me break it. All right. And come back into here, plop that thing back in with a right mouse click and paste. Okay. Tell me if you're able to do that or if you had any problems. I want to hear it now.
I got it.
All right. Angie?
Almost. My
Okay.
my
No, that's
lines
okay.
aren't numbered.
That's okay. We're not in a hurry. Just let me know when yours is finished, Angie.
Okay.
All right. Then go up to here. Let me try it first. I'm going to click here, and I'm hoping down here it's not going to give me any errors. Just says command completed successfully, rather. So take your mouse, put it on the green arrow that points to the right, and click, and tell me if yours says commands completed successfully.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then go back into this window right here that we were just in, do a Control-A to highlight all of it, and hit delete. You can do the same thing in the bottom window. I want both of these to be empty. Got that done?
Yep.
Okay. So jump back then. Sorry, I'm just going to keep doing this with my shares here. But jump back then to the file that we're using here, this file. And now I have no idea. I'm going to try it like this. I'm going to highlight lines 110 all the way down till the end of the file. And this is like about 800 or 900 lines. I don't normally do this, so it may not work. It may choke on this for it being too big, but I'm going to try it anyway. And you'll be able to watch me do it. If it just comes up and it keeps saying one record inserted, one record inserted, one record inserted, etc., it worked. And if there's errors, I'll know it right away because it's going to give me errors. All right. And there's much faster ways of copying it than the way I'm doing it, but that's fine anyway. All right, mine's just about done. Like I said, it's about a little over 1,000 lines. So I'm going to copy that to the clipboard. Now I'm going to change my share again, and I'm going to go back to my program. All right. And don't you do it yet. Give me a second. I'm going to paste that back in. And again, I'm going to click the check. Notice it looks like I've got just a boatload of one row selected. See that? So you try to do the same thing. Go ahead and put in here those 900 lines that you just did, and then again, click up here. Tell me if you get any errors, please.
I'm getting cannot find the object dbo.customers because it does not exist or you do not have permission.
Yeah,
And
I
then
got
I'm
the same
getting
thing.
invalid object name for the rest.
Okay. Why wouldn't you have permission? Boy. Well, I'll tell you what. This is what we're going to do. Try to make some lemonade out of these lemons. My guess is you're probably both getting the same error, but just in case, will you each take a screenshot of one or more errors that you're getting and email it to me? And what I'm going to ask then for now is that you watch what I'm doing. And I just want to see if I can get this to work. That all make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
So I'm going to do a Control A and I'm going to remove this. I'm going to do a Control A and I'm going to remove this. Now, if I look over here under MMA books and I go under tables, notice I've got all those tables. All right. So if I go to my customers and I say, if I go to my customers table here and I say view data, there's all my customers. All right. And I could do the same thing. It's not that important a thing. The only one I do want to mention is you saw the customers, and I want you to see this right here. And I realize it's not real big on your screen, but this is the products. All right. So we've got whatever that is. It looks like about 15 or 20 products. And I think they said there were 696 customers. All right. But what I want to do is I want to see when I bring this up, I'm going to close this right now. And this where this query was, I'm going to close that. It'll say, do you want to save? No. All right. So I want to go back up to here and I want to bring up. This is the way it's designed right here. Now, I'm going to try to run this, and my guess is I'm going to get errors. I don't know if the system is smart enough that since I added this database afterwards, that it knows to hook onto that. So this may work. This may very well not work, but I'm going to try to run it anyway. Oh, wow, it worked. No, don't want that. Can you see that on your screen?
We see the product maintenance form.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted you to see. All right. Now, again, we can come in here and drag that over more. Right now, the problem with this is when it was set up with a predefined size right here. Okay. But what I can do is I'm going to stop the run. I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to click on this, make this bigger. And I don't know if that's going to help it or not. It should at least allow me to extend the size. I just want you to see everything that's in there. So now, okay, so you get the idea, right? But the point is, let's look at what we have here. All right. That is, these are the product codes. Okay. And if we go back, we could take a look at, I will do it. If I go back to the file that we were just in, come on. What we're now looking at on the screen is the products table. Okay. And you're both smart enough, you realize that, but what I want you to see, there's a product code, there's a description. All right. There is a unit price and there is a quantity on hand. Constraint, PK products. I'm looking in here, and unless I'm wrong, I'm trying to see if they even said there was a primary key, because I don't see one right there. They all say, these say not null, but it says here just PK products, primary key cluster ID. There we go, product code, it is. Okay, it is the product code. So what we typically would end up doing in there, and let me change this back, go back to the program. What we typically would do in there when we run this, I'm gonna run it again. Sorry, I gotta stop it and run it again. All right. Typically what we do is we probably set that field up like they showed you before, in that I should not be able to go in here and change this. So what is, this one says, I can't even read that. Here, this one looks like it's 2QRY. All right. I should not be able to go in there and change that. And notice I can. That is not a good thing. I would not want to give the person running this the ability to do that. All right. But let's suppose here that we came in here and we discovered that this wasn't the second edition. This was actually the third edition. All right. So I've changed it from second to third. You'll notice it looks like it's changed right there. Let's go to the second one here. And let's just assume right now that instead of 54, 56 or whatever that is, we're going to say 9900 here. So I'm going to change those two. Okay. You can see what I've done. Plus I'm going to click the plus sign, and down on the bottom, I'm going to add a new one. And I'm just going to put in here ZZZZ. All right. And this will be Murox ASP.NET Core. That is a book they've actually just come out with, first edition. And I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say that this will be 75.9900. And I'm going to move off. All right. And I'm going to click save. All right. You saw what I just did. That's pretty obvious to both of you. I'm going to stop the run and I'm going to run it again. All right. You may or may not be able to tell when you look at this. Remember, I changed that from second to third, and I made that 99 cents. And when I go down to the bottom, there it is. Okay, if I don't want that one anymore, I can click over here. I can click the X, and now it's gone. The point is, what I've shown you right there is we just used a data grid view to hook up to the database, and we're now able to basically do our entire CRUD. You saw me create a record. Right now, this is our equivalent of reading or selecting. All right, you saw me do an update, and you saw me do a delete. Does that make sense to both of you?
Yes.
All right. Then I'm going to try to do the same thing. I'm going to try to open up the other one. And like I said, I'm going to look at yours and see if I can figure out why yours didn't work. There should be nothing special about that. I will tell you this. This is where this could matter from, okay? Let's, no, not there. Yeah, go here. Let me stop and change my share again. All right, do you see my browser up here on Google?
Yeah.
All right, if you go out to murach.com, MURACH.com, all right, if you go out there, you'll have to find the book for the class. So you go under shop books and you go down to C# programming books, just like that. And there's your book. If you click on there, all right, you should be able to go to the free downloads and you'll want the zip for any system right there. If you download that to your machine, what it's going to have on there is it'll have a folder inside that's called book applications. And inside of that book applications is the database. My guess is since the database I gave you came from my account, it may have put a lock on it. Does that make sense to both of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's a pretty big file, 67 meg. If you decide later, just keep the database and keep the stuff for chapters 18 and 19. If you don't want any of the rest, you can throw it away. If that they will have all the programs that are in the entire book that are in there. So if you want those, you can keep it. All right. So one more thing that I'm going to try to run. I'm going to try to bring up the other program. Okay. So I'm going to do here a file, and I'm just going to close the solution. All right. And I'll have to change my share. I'll do that in a minute. I'm going to open up a project solution, and from my desktop, I'm going to open up the other one, which is the customer maintenance. So I'm going to click on the customer maintenance SLN file and change my share so that you can see that file. Do you now see on your screen let's see, let me run it. Probably make it easier for everybody. All right, you now see this where it says 1 of 696?
No.
You're not seeing that, okay. What
No.
it shows, what's that?
We see just a blank blue
All right,
screen.
all righty. Then let me try this. All right, let me try it from here and see if that takes it. Okay, can you see my files that are over here?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to try it again. I have no idea if you'll be able to see it or not. Can you see it now?
No.
Okay, then let me do this. Hey, there's solutions for everything. Sometimes you got to be a little innovative. And this is going to look a little weird, but that's fine. All right. Now what you should see on your screen is this is a screenshot I just took. You see it where it says customer maintenance and it's got a record here, 1 of 696?
Yes.
This is what you get when you run the program. This is the other one. The difference between this one and the other one that we just looked at is in here, we've taken the customer ID and we've set it up as a read-only field. All right. So I can come back here if I want to. All right. And I can add a new record, or at least try to. All right. In fact, I'm going to do that. You won't see it for a minute, but it'll come back in just a second. So let me run this. I'm going to add a new record at the bottom. All right. And I've saved. And now I'm going to, it says now that I have 697 records. So I went back to record 1. Now I'm jumping to the end. Now I'm going to take a screenshot.
We can see it.
Oh, you can see it now. Okay.
We
All
can.
right. So I'm in here. So I just added me. All right. If I decided, no, I don't want it to be Wentzville, let's say we want St. Louis, Missouri, 63113, and it's going to be Evan instead of me, etc. And I don't remember their address, but I'll just put 123 Main Street. You see all that? Boom. It's the new record. All right. And I'm going off of it. So I'll go back to my first record. I go to my end record. And you can see it's him. Now, one thing you may or may not have noticed, notice the ID. 701, and it says record. Okay. What does that mean? That means that somehow in here, notice this is $6.99 on mine. So it could mean a lot of things. It could mean that they added a couple records at the beginning and then removed them. Okay, I don't really know. But when I jump back here, it says record 1, but someplace in there, it looks as though they removed a couple of records. Okay, now I'm going to show you one last thing, and it's 10:08. We'll probably be done around 10:15. So let me bring this file up. There it is. And let me share that with you. It's not showing it. So hold on a second. Let me close a few things. No, it is right there. So there we go. So this is what we're going to do tomorrow. All right. First, they want you to create what they call a state maintenance application. When you think about it, this is one you actually could use. All right. So we've got codes and we've got associated state names. Now, as an example, because they've been talking about it for years, there's actually, notice it says 53 in here. So again, I'm not sure what they did, but they have added the District of Columbia. All right, that would make 51. But we could add Puerto Rico in there if we wanted to, as an example, because they've been talking about making that a state for years. All right. The other thing too is when you look in here, this is an alphabetic order. All right. But if it wasn't, we could change things around if we wanted to. So what we'll do in the exercise, all right, is as it says, we'll create an application that uses a data source and a data grid. It's pretty simple. Why? Because it only has 2 fields. These are both of the fields that are actually in the states table. That's it. All right, so we'll look at that one. So they say to start a new project. I think I gave you the starter file for this. I'll take a look and I'll let you know tomorrow when we get going. All right. And then when we get done, we'll look at this one. Create a product maintenance application. Very similar to what we just looked at, but we looked at the customer one. So what we're doing is we're taking the product maintenance and setting it up like that. So we'll do two projects rather. And I'll have to check. This is the 19 stuff. Don't worry about this. So just worry about pages 1 and 2. And we'll look at 3, 4, and 5 on Thursday. But tomorrow we will look at this. I don't remember if I gave you the completed project or if I gave you just the starter. All right. But we'll look at it either way. Now, do either one of you have any questions as far as how to go out and get that database yourselves?
No.
No.
Why don't you try doing that and bringing that database in? All right. And you already were able to create the database. You got that okay. So all you'll have to do will be to go down and again, grab those files or grab those lines from whatever it was, 110 to 1010. All right. So those 900 lines, see if you can paste those in. If it works, email me. If it doesn't work, email me and we'll come up with something else for tomorrow. All right.
Okay,
Okay. I'll talk to you tomorrow then.
thanks.
Thank you.